So the topic for today's video is why following risk management is important. We all have a predefined risk. We all have predefined entries, exits, entry triggers. Once we have an edge, because obviously having an edge may be like you can't be profitable unless you have an edge. Then comes risk management, because if you do not follow risk, like it's easy to have predefined risk, but execution part is very hard. Like even though you have 2% of your total capital, but when it comes to execution, you do not get the exact entry, you do not get the exact exit, but it's really important to follow. I will tell you I will tell you a story about my recent trade, so you will be able to relate more about what I'm trying to convey. There was one trade that I recently took. It was GE ship, and that is a defense stock. So what happened that right after I entered, it gave me the intended return. It reached my target price within few minutes. So I was literally shocked, and I was not ready to exit because I thought maybe it's going to give me more. So I increased at the end times. I sort of increased my target price, because just before taking that trade, the trades that I took before the GE ship trade, they took quite some time. They were not that quick. So I tweaked with my target price, and what happened, you won't believe, the very next day all my profit was wiped off. So if you do not take the decision at the right time, if you're not ready to accept, if your stop loss gets hit, or if your target price has reached, if you are being greedy, or if you are being fearful, or if you are being hopeful, like when price goes against you and your stop loss gets hit, and you start hoping that let me wait for a while, maybe it's gonna come back to my price point, back to my entry price. It never happens. I will tell you one more example. There is one trade that I took, and it is SW Solar, and the trade that I took, it's way before I had an edge. So at that time I didn't knew what risk management